Today I'm going to be reviewing this BKIY drone that was recently sent to me by the brand. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I did go ahead and cut the little sticker thing that's across here. It does come with a cool little case, so that's going to be a nice feature for it. Let me go ahead and pop it out, and then you can kind of see what the drone size is. It's going to be a nice size drone. I'm pretty pleased with how large that one is going to be. So it is going to be foldable, so just kind of the arms, I guess. I was going to say legs, but I guess they're kind of arms, are just going to kind of pop right out of there. It does come with dual batteries, so that's going to be nice that it comes with those. And let's see, I'm looking for a charger. I don't see the charging port on those. I'm guessing there's a cord up in here. We'll give you the measurements on the drone and everything here in a minute. And let's see, this is going to be, looks like more props for it. Let's see what we got in here. Yep, gonna have the cord in here. So I'm going to open that. Yep, and there we go. So gonna have more propellers in there apparently too. So it's just gonna be this little thing. So I'm looking for a little hole. There it is. Okay, so it's gonna charge with a little hole in the side. I definitely would prefer if they would have made these USB-C. Just personal taste. I prefer everything to just charge with USB-C rather than having, oh, this cord is for this and this cord is for this, and you have to try and find the right cord, etc. It's a bit on the annoying side, in my opinion, at least. But this is going to come with some additional little blades for your drone, so that's nice. Let's see what these are. These might be for like feet or something for it when it takes off and lands. Oh, these are going to be the protectors, I think. Yep. Okay, so this is going to like clip onto here. I'll double check on the instructions, but I believe these are going to clip onto here since it's designed to protect the propellers. Like if you do end up crashing or something like that, I believe it's going to go either that way or possibly the other way, right onto there. And yeah, that's going to clip right there, one way or another. That's going to clip right onto there. So that allows you to make sure that, you know, if this hits something, that the propellers don't get damaged. But I'll double check on the instructions for that. Obviously going to come with the remote control as well. So I went in and got those put on. So the instructions actually didn't say anything. I just kind of figured it out. So you're going to go with this pointed up. And since it's designed, these blades are still going to spin without any issues, but it's designed to protect the blade. So if you're like coming up against, you know, a tree limb or something like that, it just helps to protect those a little bit. And then they kind of go, they clip under here. So you just kind of put them on, clipping right under here, and then they come up there, and then this clips tight. So to remove these, you can just kind of pull on this, and then that's going to release it down like that. So essentially you're just going to take, and this part up here kind of slides right underneath there, like so, and then this goes up to that part right there and then clips into place. Now I did want to kind of show you what the remote looks like. So this part is going to pop up. So you're just going to kind of grab this little thing here, and that's going to be for your phone. This does extend out, so you can mount your phone in there, which I will do here in a minute. It also is going to take 3 AAA batteries. Those are not going to be included. That just goes right onto here and slides on. Now, I do want to give you the measurements of the drone, of the remote, before I go ahead and take it outside and test. So we're about 5.5 inches, not including where your phone is going to be mounted at. We're about 3 inches or so long. Thickness on this is going to be about 2 to 2.25, including the little joysticks. Now, when this is unfolded, I'm going to not include the little protective things. You're going to be at about 7 inches or so. And then this width on this with that, going to be about 8.5 inches. Thickness of the body itself is going to be around 1.5 inches or so. Now, obviously, these are designed to fold in. They're not going to fold in very well with those little protective covers, just the way that it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out. I want to kind of show you what it goes down to here. It looks like I'm just going to have to pop off these bottom two. So I'll just go ahead and do that. But I will put those back on before I take it outside and test it. So this is going to fold there. Obviously, these little propellers are going to kind of flip inside, and that's going to go down into there. So obviously, it makes it nice and small. Again, I would take those two off before I actually put it back into the storage case. But dimensions on it, once it's folded, we got about 5.5 inches long because all that folds in. Height on that is, again, going to be under 2 inches. Like we're looking at 1 inch, I'd say 1 3/4 inches. And then even width on that, so total width with those folded in, we're going to be right at 3 inches. So relatively small in there as well. So I'm going to go and open this up, take it outside, and test it out now. So first thing first, you can just fly it with the remote if you want to. It's obviously going to be considerably easier with the drone. So you're going to download the software onto your phone that you're going to then put up here to use. Obviously, it does come with the camera on here. So having that app does make it considerably easier for that. Then you're just going to follow the instructions on the little instruction book that show you step by step how you're going to connect the app in with your drone. So once you get the app connected, then now you're going to then go into here. So to get to that on the app, you're going to select your model, which this specific model that I'm reviewing here is JYP011. And then you're going to click on the start. that's going to look like it's showing you nothing, but it actually is showing you the camera, as you can see right here. Hello. It's showing you the actual camera view, and so it's just kind of pointed down a little bit. Now you can adjust the camera, I believe, by clicking on here. So let's click on that. That's recording, okay? So you can record. I'm just gonna click off of that. You can record, you can take pictures, do all those sorts of things. I believe you should be able to control it from the app or from this portion of the app as well. So that's going to be a nice feature. Let me double check on that operation modes here on the instructions. So to get to this, you're just going to push this little A right up here at the top. And now you can see I can adjust everything on here to be able to do it. So you're going to click on the up for one key takeoff. It's kind of hidden over here with the buttons or with the way that my iPhone is set up. So I definitely would prefer if they would have moved that over because that's kind of hidden. I'm not sure if that's going to work. Takeoff node, hold down the white code, and the aircraft will take off automatically. See if it did, and it did not. Maybe I didn't slide it over enough. Hold down the white icon and slide it to the right. And for some reason it didn't take off. Maybe it's because it's sitting on inside. I'm not really sure. Or maybe it's because the camera. So let me see if there's a way to adjust that. Okay, so I think I figured out what the issue is. So this can only pair with either the remote or the app one at a time. So I believe that was why it was working with the phone, but not with the app, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and click start. It looks like it's working on here. Let's go ahead and click that because I came across this note, which I didn't see before. So I'm gonna go ahead and push this now and let's see if this works. And yes, it does. Whoa, going up. All right, so we are flying around a little bit and it's kind of hovering on its own. Now this does have an emergency stop, so it's just gonna drop. You can also push the button to land. And again, landing mode, just push it on there and it's going down and it hit something and landed. But that is really nice that it kind of hovers on there, which that's why you put those little things on there because of those, so the blades don't hit anything when it goes down like that. So that was the issue that I ran into. So I actually connected the remote first and then the app will not work. So you can use either the app or the remote, not both at the same time. So you don't even have to have the remote turned on, batteries in or whatever, if you're going to be using the app. So now let's go ahead and go outside. Okay, so a couple of things before I go ahead and take off with it. First of all, I am not a fan of this mount on the remote, especially because you don't need the remote. So what I'm just going to be doing is I'm just going to be using the device. So be using my phone rather than having it mounted because this mount is not very secure. So I would not recommend using the mount at all with this. I recommend just holding your device because it is not secure in there in the slightest. You can see how easy it is to slide out of there. So that's not secure at all. Secondly, you can't have the remote and the app at the same time. So you really only need your app or the remote, not both. So that's no problem. Now this is not going to turn upside down as well. So it will only work if it is facing the one direction, as you can see there. So now I'm going to go ahead and test this. So I'm going to be using the one button takeoff on here. So I'm just pushing on there to take off. You're just going to then slide this over, right? Now it is on the ground and it's struggling with the leaves, right? So it's not taking off. So you can use this in the, let me go ahead and push up. Yeah, so it's not taking off, right? So I'm going to go ahead and push the landing button to get it to shut all the way back off. I'm guessing one of the blades is hitting the leaf that it is by, and yeah. So these blades are hitting these leaves. They just kind of got tangled up in there. So you will want this to either be a place where there's not leaves in the way or something, or you could have it on something that is a sturdier ground. So again, I'm going to use the one button takeoff. So again, I'm pushing on here, sliding over for takeoff. And it's struggling with the grass actually. Okay, so I've got pretty thick grass. So what that grass is doing is it's not allowing those blades to spin fast enough for it to get off the ground. So that is an important thing to know. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually just going to use this one button takeoff here. So again, I'm pushing one button takeoff on here. Now this is going to be hard to do with one hand. And then you're just going to take and slide that over. I'm not a fan of having to do that every single time. Okay, so now it's taking off and then it's just going to hover, right? So it's going to hover supposedly evenly. Now I can look here on my phone and now I want to move it. So I'm going to kind of move it that way. I can go the other way, circle around. Now I can use the one button to land as well, but it will just hover on its own, right? In about the same location. You can kind of see that on the control. I clicked on this and I've messed around with this app multiple times, right? And I looked at all the instructions and everything. And what's really annoying to me is I cannot find anywhere to adjust the camera. right? So to me, it's zoomed in too far, right? I prefer it to be zoomed out. It looks like it adjusts, right? So on the front of the camera, my wife's holding it here, you can turn it up and down, right? Just by pushing on it. But there is nothing in the app about how to adjust it. There's no instructions. There's nothing on here. I tried pinching in. I tried zooming in and out like this, pinching, zoom, like nothing at all will change the camera on there. So it makes it really hard to control because of that. So all in all, it is a super cool drone. It flies, it's stable. I love everything about it, but the camera, it's zoomed in at such a rate where it makes it incredibly hard for you to just look at the phone and be able to steer, because it's almost like it's zoomed in on everything that it looks at. And so because of it being zoomed in, it makes it a million times harder to control with the app. Truthfully, I would just use the remote when controlling this, because that's going to be easier than the app, simply because you can't see with the camera. And then that kind of defeats the point of having one that's camera enabled.